Okay, now let's talk about when to use arbitrage. So every investment vehicle is better at some things than others, and I want to make sure you're aware of exactly why this model is good and what it's good for and what another model might be good for in the real estate industry. So this model is best for someone looking for low startup costs and quick cash flow. For long-term benefits, buying is still the king for the appreciation and the fact that your expenses are going towards principal payments and equity rather than paying rent to somebody so you can re-rent it. But not everyone is in a position to jump right into real estate like that and buy something or anything like that. So that's okay. That's why I will overview both options throughout this course. And of course, always having the info is good for you so you can make your own decisions. But if your goal is to get as many units cash flowing as possible, this will allow you to acquire more units than purchasing simply because it costs so much little upfront. And we'll go over that. And when we're running the numbers, you'll see how much it'll cost to do the arbitrage model versus if you wanted to buy something, you'll see it's tens of thousands of dollars different. So this is again for someone looking for low overhead, low startup capital, and to be able to start making cash really quickly. I use the arbitrage model to provide cash flow to me so I can then turn around and use that cash to purchase units. I always keep a healthy split between the two models and they both work in harmony, which is great, but I know that they both serve me in different ways. Of course, there's always going to be the opportunity cost between using your cash for buying or purchasing and then using your cash for the arbitrage model. For example, if you have $100,000 that you're trying to spend on real estate, you may be able to buy, 1 to 2, 3 properties if they're very cheap, or you can acquire 5 to 10 units on the arbitrage model. And obviously the cash flow on the arbitrage model with 5 to 10 units is going to be much more significant than the cash flow from 1 to 3 units. So you can see why this is something that you want to do if cash may be a little tight, you want to get that cash flow going. You're really not in a spot where you're looking for long-term plays. You're looking for cash flow right now. That's when this model is great for you, but it'll also allow you to develop that long-term play as time goes on, which is very, very important as well. So it's a great model all around. Just wanted to make sure you guys understand exactly what this is better for. So when you're talking to people and you're describing this model to others, they're going to be comparing, hey, is this a better option for me than buying real estate? And the answer is, well, that depends on what you want. And that depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to have something that's going to appreciate in equity over the next 20 years, you're probably better off buying something because in 20 years, you're just going to have a lease. You're not going to have a property that you've been putting money into. But if your goal is to, hey, within the next 6 months, I want to start bringing in X amount of money every single month, this is definitely a better option for you. Your money's going to go much farther that way. So hopefully you understand that a little bit better, and we can always provide more clarity if you need it either.